Aaron Kelly was dead. There wasn't anything anyone could do about it. And to tell you the truth, nobody much cared. You see, Aaron Kelly had been so downright mean and rotten in his lifetime that folks were actually glad to see him go. Even his widow never shed a tear. She just bought a coffin, put Aaron Kelly in it, and said, "Goodbye, Aaron Kelly, and good riddance." But that very night, Aaron Kelly came back. He crawled his way up through the 6 feet of earth and walked right back home through the cemetery. His widow was sitting all peaceful and quiet like in the parlor doing her knitting when all of a sudden Aaron Kelly came walking in through the front door.
What's all this?
He shouted.
You're all dressed in black. You look as if somebody just died. Who's dead?
The widow pointed a shaking finger at Aaron Kelly and said, "Why, you are."
Well, I don't feel dead. I feel just fine.
"Well, you don't look fine. Your skin is green. Your lips are blue. You look like you're dead. Now, you turn yourself right back around and go back to the cemetery where you belong."
I feel just fine. And I ain't going back to no cemetery till I feel dead.
Well, since he wouldn't go back to the grave, his widow couldn't collect the life insurance. Without the money from the life insurance, she couldn't pay the undertaker for the coffin. And without the coffin to bury him in, why, she'd never be rid of Aaron Kelly. But Aaron Kelly, he didn't care. He just sat back in his favorite rocking chair and rocked back and forth, day after day and night after night. But after a while, old Aaron Kelly began to dry up. His skin began to peel away from his bones, falling to a great pile before him until there was nothing left of him in that chair but a skeleton. And every time he rocked in that chair, his bones, they clicked and clacked and cracked. His widow did her best to ignore him, but it wasn't easy with all the racket that he was making. Then one night, the best fiddler in town came to call on Aaron's widow. He heard that old Aaron Kelly had passed away, and he thought that he might marry the widow for himself. The fiddler and the woman sat down together all cozy-like in the parlor, and old Aaron Kelly, he sat right across from him, just creaking and cracking and grinning his bony grin, till finally Aaron Kelly said,
"Well, this ain't fun sitting around here like this. I'm bored. Fiddler, take out your fiddle. I feel like dancing."
And so the fiddler took out his fiddle and he began to play. And my, oh my, could he make that fiddle sing. Aaron Kelly heard the sweet-sounding music and he just couldn't sit still. Aaron Kelly stood up. Oh, his dry bones were stiff. He stretched himself out. He shook himself out. He cracked his knuckle bones. And then Aaron Kelly began to dance. With his toe bones a-tapping and his shin bones a-clapping, round and round he danced like a fool. With his shoulder bones a-snapping and his spine bone a-clapping, how that dead man did dance! The music grew wilder, and so did Aaron Kelly, until at length a bone broke loose from the dancing skeleton, flew across the room, and landed on the floor with a clatter. Why, look at that!" cried the fiddler. "Why, he's dancing so hard, he's falling to pieces." "Well then," cried the widow, "play louder!" And so the fiddler hung to that fiddle. He fiddled a tune that made the bedbugs hop. He fiddled a tune that made the popcorns pop. He fiddled a tune that made the rocks get up and dance. Clickety-clack, down and back, old Aaron kept a-hopping, his dry bones a-popping, clipping and a-clopping, they just kept right on dropping. Till finally, there was nothing left of the dancing skeleton but a pile of bones lying still upon the floor, all except for his old bald head bone. And that looked up at the fiddler, snapped its yellow teeth, and said,
"Ooh-wee, ain't we having fun?"
Well, it was all too much for the fiddler to bear. He dropped his fiddle, shouted out, "Woman, I'm getting out of here!" And he ran right out the back door. Well, the widow saw that this was her chance to be rid of old Aaron Kelly forever. She went and found a box, and she gathered up all of Aaron Kelly's bones. And then by the light of the full moon, she went back down to the cemetery. She opened up his coffin and poured those bones into that box. And before closing that lid for the last time, she mixed those bones all around, and they're really good, so that Aaron Kelly could never put himself back together again. And after that, old Aaron Kelly, he stayed where he belonged. But folks still say that on a still summer night, when the crickets are fiddling their tunes, you'll hear a faint clicking and a cracking and a clacking and a clapping sound coming from down under the ground. And you'll know it's old Aaron Kelly's bones still trying to dance. And what about the fiddler and the woman? Well, they never did get back together after that. Old Aaron Kelly made dead sure of that.